Do you recognize that music? Yep, it is spa and massage music. Now, thank you for joining us today on the Ageless Traveler, dedicated to making lifelong travel easy so you never stop traveling. I'm your host, Adrienne Berg, with a question for you. You love spas and pampering treatments, but you get overwhelmed by the choices and the costs. What about choosing hotels? Well, we've uncovered surprising features of spas and hotels that you won't find on TripAdvisor or those booking sites, but they'll make all the difference in your enjoyment. Today, we meet Ageless Traveler Spa and Hotel Advisor, Peter Anderson. He advises top hotels and spas on designs, treatments, services, and he's on our Ageless Traveler Advisory Board, available to answer your personal questions on hotels and spas as you travel. Now, sit back and relax. All the resources we discussed are on our show notes at agelesstraveler.com. And while you're on the site, click Free Gifts button, join our Facebook salon, receive our fun goodies, and be able to ask questions that we will answer for you personally on the air. Peter, I'm so happy that you're with us, but I'm going to jump right in because you have years of experience advising hotels and spas about the Ageless Traveler. But right today, if you're going to tell an Ageless Traveler to spend their money on one type of spa treatment, what would it be?
I would probably say it should be hydrotherapy. And the reason for that is that, a good hydrotherapist effectively will give you a massage using water jets or water hoses in a hot tub. And when you look at the combination of the relaxation and the density of the water, it's just wonderful for muscles. It's wonderful for decompressing. And so I would say one of the best spa treatments for an ageless traveler would have something to do with water, and preferably warmer water so that they could relax. And next to that would probably be steam rooms and saunas, because you get the same kind of experience, but it's not quite as directed.
So these are some of the things that really increase health. And Peter, there's one thing that we can do to increase our health too, and that is travel to healthy places, health-giving places. And we are going to be doing that, and you're going to prepare us for that because we're going to Iceland. And that is one place with beautiful thermo pools where we actually can get healthier. Let's take a minute and tell you all about it. Have you considered traveling to a place of incomparable beauty, great adventure, and spirituality? If so, did you think of Iceland? I didn't think you did, but I did. And we're traveling in October 2024 on a quest to see the magical Northern Lights. Colette Tours, a leader in small group trips, arranged everything for us, including a 3-night expedition to see the lights. The flight is only about 4.5 hours from New York City. And you can even add on Greenland if you're like me. We'll go together. All the information is at the Ageless Traveler website, agelesstraveler.com, featured trips. And of course, there's always discounts. agelesstraveler.com, featured trips. Never stop traveling. And now we're back with Peter. Now let's talk about increasing comfort. You're also a consultant to a lot of hotels. And, of course, we all travel together. So when we do that as Ageless Travelers, we have the hotels for you. But many of the folks listening, they select their own hotels. What would you look for? What kind of services are particularly important to the Ageless Traveler so they could vet or evaluate hotels on that basis?
I would look at the concierge service. That basically you have a wonderful platform in any city or country that you go to, and you have luxurious rooms, wonderful dining, but it's the concierge who literally and metaphorically hold the keys to those unique experiences. So having a person who can direct you and guide you and give you insight, and can give you insight and advice that's tailored to you as opposed to the general public, can be invaluable. So I would look at the ratings of the concierges, or if the hotel doesn't have a concierge, you might want to discount that, because these people can do great things for you in terms of getting the most out of the locale you're visiting.
Well, that's fantastic. But now I'm going to get a little personal. What is the best personal spa or hotel experience you've ever had for you yourself?
That's a hard question, because it's like asking you what your favorite food is. It all depends.
Right.
But I would say one of my favorite spa experiences is at it's a Japanese soaking spa in the Southwest, and effectively it's up on a hill. And it's a 4-season climate. I've been there in the summertime where you have private soaking tubs and public soaking tubs, and you go from your soaking experience into your massage and your therapy. But because it is such a comprehensive environment, you really feel like you're transported and you're taken care of. Also, there are some unique factors to it. For instance, I've been there in the dead of winter when it's been snowing, and to be able to sit in a hot tub outside, get a little too warm, jump into the snowbank, cool off, and get back into the hot tub is something we don't experience all the time. So it's both the comprehensive environment and the uniqueness of experiences is one of the things that I like about this facility. The other thing that I like about it is that it's both private in terms of the treatments you get, but there's communal bathing, and so there's a social element to it, and so it's a very happy and lighthearted experience.
Well, that sounds so beautiful. I'm relaxed already just asking you the question. And I'm also, I'm also relaxed because we're going to Iceland in 2024 as Ageless Travelers. We're going to Iceland. Yes, we are, with the incredible leadership of Colette Tours. And this is going to be October 2024. Please come with us. And if you're a real adventurer like me, we are going to add on Greenland for you. Now, I love spas. I've often visited Iceland's top mineral and hot springs, and I'm thrilled to collaborate with Colette on this tour. It's a quest to see the magical northern lights and luxuriate in one of the iconic springs of the world, the Blue Lagoon. Now, there's volcanic beaches, crater viewing glaciers, geothermal pools. For all the details, go to agelesstraveler.com, featured trips, you get discounts, and of course, we will be together. That is so important. And I'll speak with you on perks and further discounts if you're groups of 10, or you come from a nonprofit organization. You want to get some donations through traveling with the Ageless Traveler. Never stop traveling.
Spas in Iceland, in particular, have high mineral contents. And
Yes.
the minerals have different effects on your circulatory system, your heart, your mood. And so I would do a little deep dive, pun intended, into looking at what areas we'll be going to. And if there is a chemical or mineral breakout of what the water is composed of, and get an understanding of what you might be, what the effects might be from a particular area based on the mineral content.
Well, you see, that's why I'm so proud of what we're doing here, because we will be having our travelers actually speaking to us directly. We will certainly know all that. We'll take that into consideration, and we'll show them even how to take into consideration any medications they're taking. Now,
Sure.
it's a beautiful experience. I've had the experience more than once, but I don't think that people give the deep thought that we do when it comes to making the most of these terrific experiences. Now, let's take a look at this. I'm going to switch gears now on you. You are a consultant to hotels on management and on the Ageless Traveler. What would you tell the hotel industry right now to do to attract the Ageless Traveler? Because they don't always get us.
No, they don't. And I mean, probably the biggest thing would be to curate the experience. Like for instance, a deep tissue massage for a 25-year-old athlete might be different than a deep tissue massage for a 70-year-old avid walker. And so without putting red flags around this is the old people massage and this is the regular massage. I would be a little more gentle and sit back and realize that as we age, our bodies change, our muscle tones change, our tolerance for temperature differentials, our sensitivity changes. And so consequently, tailoring some of the experiences or the treatments to address the needs of an older traveler, a mature traveler, might make all the difference in the world.
And you have traveled all over the world yourself. You are one of us, by the way. You are an Ageless Traveler. And one of the places you go to is the Global Wellness Summit. And I do know that every time you come back, there's new cutting edge things to be offered, particularly in the area of mindfulness. Can you tell us what has enamored you? What excited you for the current and future idea of wellness travel?
Well, the great part about the shift in the focus and issues around mindfulness is that we as a society, a scientific community, are really starting to be able to link the empirical body, mind, spirit paradigm. And we realize that our thoughts affect our feelings affect our physiology. And while that might be some wisdom that, folkloric wisdom that we received from our grandparents when we were little, we can now empirically connect those dots. And so I'm seeing more and more scientists approaching the soft side of spas, the soft side of treatment, realizing that a good attitude will create a better outcome for your treatment. And that good attitude starts with a robust welcome and an attention to detail. And so the experience I've had with the Global Wellness Summit is taking leading experts, cutting edge research, and instead of it just being something Grandma used to tell us, they can tie that back to the reality, and they can support it mathematically.
For many years, and Peter has been on the show several times, so has most of our advisory board gurus. I call them the expert gurus, because my show, Generation Bold, the Fountain of Truth About Aging, dealt a lot with health, longevity, or what's called health span. And it's been going on for many years, and it even has won several awards, mature market awards, particularly because it made the distinction between growing older and growing older healthfully. It's not just longevity, it's health span. So listen to this so that I can clue you into and join you with Generation Bold. You will find Generation Bold podcasts on all of the disseminators, including the ones that we use for Ageless Traveler like Spotify and iTunes. Please don't hesitate to go there. You're going to find years of episodes, and many of them have to do with scientific breakthroughs that have to do with your health, that make you healthier as you age. We will be taking some clips, some information, and hearing the guests back on Ageless Traveler because years may have passed and new breakthroughs have occurred. So please, if you want to listen specifically about mindfulness, strengthening your cells, mitochondria, biohacking, how you can get on the scale, and it'll tell you your age, you want to hear Generation Bold, the Fountain of Truth About Aging, and you'll find that on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever there are disseminations of podcasts. And now we're back to Peter, almost wrapping up our show. But for now, Peter, I want to ask you, from your heart, if you are the Ageless Traveler, and you're talking to the Ageless Traveler, what would you tell them? What would you like to tell them?
I would probably say that, when we go to places, when we travel, we do it, I do it, to get a sense of awe and wonder. And sometimes that pulls me out of my comfort zone. And probably the thing that I find the most supportive and the most positive is when I come to a space and I realize it's safe, that the people are there and their objective is to take care of me. And it's almost primal. It's the kind of feeling that one gets if we can dial back to when we were little children and didn't have a lot of worries. Our parents were those people that took care of us, and they created safety. And I think when we travel, when we can go to a place and we feel safe, then all of a sudden our defenses and our walls just fall to our ankles. And we're in a place where we can be receptive to the beauty, the healing, the technology, the wonderful food, the great interactions. And so I think any hotel, any Airbnb, any environment that is going to welcome somebody in from the outside should be mindful that they need to establish themselves as being safe and being welcoming. And a big part of that welcoming is safety. And I'm talking, physical safety as well as physical comfort and emotional safety and emotional comfort. And when we leave those places, when I leave those places, I'm better for the time I spent.
Well, that's so beautifully said. And as you were talking, it just triggered in me a memory, and I could feel it now. I can't swim. And I wanted to swim with the walruses and the sea lions. Sea lions are really huge, magnificent animals. And I found them in Baja California, which they call the Galapagos of Mexico. And I was actually taken out by a group as caring as that. I got a wetsuit on. They put me in a lifesaver, but not inside. I was holding on to it. A crew of 2 held on the other side of the lifesaver. They got us into the water, and they knew how to get me down under the water with no equipment and then pop up. And I actually took what is really a big mammal sea safari. It was quite extraordinary, but it could not have been done without that caring that you were just talking about. So this is the kinds of things that we want to bring to the table for all of you. Thank you so much for being with us, Peter.
Well, thank you.
I cannot believe the time we've come to the end of our discussion. Thank you for listening. And don't forget, see the show notes on agelesstraveler.com for the resources we mentioned on the show. And click the free gift button to join our Facebook salon and receive the goodies that will make lifelong travel easy. Salon members can ask Peter and all of our other experts questions to make your travels perfect. And watch for our next show when I introduce you to our resident gerontologist who brings us international travel and advocates for what we want and we need when we travel. This is Adrienne Berg for the Ageless Traveler, here to make sure you never stop traveling.